Hello, my football fans, and welcome to the Touchdownladies podcast, where we talk about football from a fan's point of view. So let's just get into it. Now, we're going to talk about that. What's going on in the NFL news right now? Right now, the NFL, a lot of fans, Falcon fans, are mad because they felt that the refs should have called the penalty that was in the last quarter of the games between the Falcons and Kansas City. Kansas City played the Falcons here at home, and there was a call that the fans felt that should have been called from the ref in the fourth quarter down. I think the Falcons were down at the Kansas City either 13 or 9-yard line. They was down there. They was about to make a touchdown, but a penalty was committed. And Kansas City did not get called for the penalty. So right now, everybody's upset about this situation. But I keep on saying this. My own personal opinion is that when you played Kansas City in the fourth quarter, you cannot have any penalties against them because they always seem to benefit from their opponent's penalties, always. And they know how to control the clock. So you cannot let them control the clock, especially in the fourth quarter. Without the game, I thought it was an okay game between the two. The Falcons did not look as good as they did on Monday Night Football when they played against the Eagles. But I thought the first half of the game, they was able to compete a little bit with Kansas City. But going into the third quarter, that's when the Falcons really started going downhill. They really didn't do too much in the end of this game. But at the end of the game, it could only be one winner, and the Kansas City comes on top again with this win over the Falcons, 22-17. I want to talk about Jamar Chase a little bit. Now, he's the wide receiver from the Bengals that still not receive an extended contract. Right now, him and the Bengals are not negotiating at this time. I think that's going to be put on hold until after this season, and they're going into 2024 season that they might revisit the contracts negotiations with him. But for now, it seems like that's been put on hold. But Jamar Chase did take out a $50 million insurance policy for protection. So in case he gets hurt, he is now protected. So he took that out on his own, a $50 million policy for injury. But I want to talk about the scores and the teams that won this Sunday, which was a kind of surprising to me of the teams that won, considering they didn't get off to a good start this season. But here's a couple of teams that I was surprised that won over the weekend. The first one was the 49ers and the Rams. Now, the Rams have got a lot of issues with injuries, but they came in there and they beat the 49ers, 27-24. I was surprised on this win here. Then you had the Vikings versus the Texans. The Vikings had 34-7 over the Texans. Another surprise. That's a really surprise for the Texans as they play so well. The next one I was surprised too was the Broncos and the Bucks. The Broncos beat the Bucks 26-7. Wow. Baker Mayfield had an outstanding game last week. I don't know what's going on. The next one was the Raiders and the Panthers. Now, the Raiders was scored 22, and the Panthers had 36 in this game. Now, the Panthers did change their quarterback to Andy Dalton. So that might make a difference right now, but I don't know how big of a difference it's going to make. He won one game, so now they're, 1-2 right now in the season. So we have to wait and see how that's going to play out in that game. But I was really surprised that they beat the Raiders in this game. And the last game was the Steelers and the Chargers. The Steelers won 20-10 to the Chargers. Justin Fields is having a great season so far, 3 games straight. These are one of the few teams, it's only 4 teams in the NFL right now that won 3 games straight. That is the Steelers, the Vikings, the Seattle Seahawks, and Kansas City. Now, tonight's game is going to be the Bills versus the Jaguars. If the Bills win tonight, they will also be 3-0. If they win Monday Night Football, they will also be 3-0. And we also have the Washington Commanders playing the Bengals tonight. So there's 2 Monday night games that's going on. But if the Bills win Monday Night Football over the Jaguars, they'll be 3-0 along with the Steelers, the Vikings, the Seattle Seahawks, and Kansas City going into Week 4. So we just have to wait and see what's going to happen with that. But I want to talk about the Jets and the Patriots game that happened last week, which started Week 3 of the regular season for the NFL football. Now, this game, I was on a fence with this game with both these teams. Now, both these teams, I had mixed feelings going into this game, but I was leaning more towards the Patriots are winning over the Jets, and that did not happen. The Jets showed up and did their thing. Aaron Rodgers looked so good. He looked like the Aaron Rodgers from 6 years ago when he was with the Green Bay. He really looked good. He was getting out the pocket. He was running out the pocket. He was making plays. He was making plays on the run. I mean, literally, he was running out the pocket, throwing the ball, and hitting his receivers. He did a really good job. He really looked good. He looked comfortable. Offense and defense showed up for him, and they really did a good job in this game, and they really controlled this game from the time the Jets got on the field. On the other side, I was kind of disappointed in the Patriots' defense. Now, we usually have a good defense, and that's how some of the games Patriots won, is with the defense. And they didn't even show up in this game to me. They struggled the whole game. They just allowed the Jets' offense just to run through the defense. I mean, the defense never rushed Aaron Rodgers during the whole game. He was able just to do what he wanted in this game. He had so much time in the pocket. Like I said, the Patriots defense did not rush him at all. It was like no urgency with them. They couldn't stop the run game or the pass game. They just was getting walked on by the offense from the Jets all night long. And they never really had control of the game. On Patriots offense, we knew they're struggling on the offense, so I wasn't really concerned too much with the offense. I knew the Jets would win this game overall, but I really was rooting for the Patriots. But I knew coming into this game, the Patriots does not still have a solid offense, and now the defense, to me, is not looking that great either. So they definitely have to make some changes and try to get back on track. We just have to wait and see. I know they're in a rebuild. We all know that. But, we just have to wait and see. This is week 3 of the NFL games, and a lot of teams are still trying to figure it out anyway, making adjustments. There's a lot of injuries going on. So we just have to wait and see. I think by the 5th game of the season, we should all get an idea of how these teams are going to play on the field. But like I said, this is just a week 3 games. And so that was going on for week 3 for me with the Patriots and the Jets game. We got to see if they can bounce back a little bit for the Patriots and see what they can do, because this was a divisional game. The next I want to talk about, the big game I want to talk about that I watched, was the Ravens versus the Cowboys. Now, this game was really exciting game to watch. I like Lamar Jackson. He had 182 yards, 2 touchdowns in the game. Derrick Henry had 151 yards, 2 touchdowns in this game. The Ravens came in there and they dominated over this game. The whole game, I have to say, they dominated over the Cowboys offense and defense all the way to the 4th quarter. They always had control. Now, this is what makes me crazy, get a little crazy about the Ravens, is that in the 4th quarter, they always allow their opponent to come back in the game. Now, they can put up some big numbers on you, but they can't maintain a large lead. I think they had the lead 28, it was like 28-6 going into the 4th quarter. And they allowed the Cowboys to come back. I think it was 28-19. What is the Cowboys? No, 28-25. Even though the Ravens wound up winning this game, but they allowed the Cowboys to come back and score 19 points in the 4th quarter. I was getting a little crazy because it was coming down to the wire. It was coming to under 2 minutes. And I was really nervous. I really wanted the Ravens to win this game, and they wound up pulling it off. But they always allow their opponents to be able to come back. And that's one of the things that scares me about this team. But overall, it was a good game. Derrick Henry had a big day. Lamar Jackson, the offense, they all showed up in this game. The Cowboys, they struggled on offense and defense. I don't know what they're going to do. Right now, they got to fix it. It can be fixed, but they're going to have to fix it fast, because these teams out here are making adjustments as they go. And I didn't see any. This is the 2nd week that the Cowboys got beat. I mean, really bad. The Saints put a number on them, and then the Ravens came in this week and dominated over them. So like I said, this is football. It's still week 3. It's still a little crazy. People still getting adjustments out here in these teams, but we just have to wait and see. But so far, I'm liking what I'm seeing out here. It was a couple of surprises this week. Like I said, the teams that won, I was surprised that they won games, but you never know. Right now, football is up and down right now. No one's really in a steady rhythm right now, so we just have to see. Like I said, I think week 5 for me would be the big telling all of how these teams are going to look. But before I end the show, if you want to reach out to me and for questions or suggestions, anything, or just have a little conversation with me, because I love talking about football from a fan's point of view, you can email me at touchdownladies@gmail.com. That's touchdownladies@gmail.com. But before I end the show, I like to end the show on a good note, and I always want to do something that's called Facts, Funds, in Football, where I pull out my little jar here, and I either pull out a fact, a fun, or a quote. I don't know what I'm going to get, so let's just see. I'm going to pull one right now. Okay, this is a fun fact, and it says, the Green Bay Packers are the oldest team that still holds its original name. The team was established in 1919 and has never been renamed or relocated. And that's a fun fact about the Green Bay Packers. And this is Sandy from the Touchdown Ladies saying, don't forget to smile, be happy, be kind, put your action behind your plan, and keep moving forward. And I'll talk to you later. Bye.